Some days begin with laughter and light. Days dressed in music, color, and hope. This morning, the sun rose gently over our compound, and everyone believed it would be the happiest day of my life. I was young, I was dressed in white, and I was about to become a wife. As I walked down the aisle, every step echoed louder than my thoughts. Smiles surrounded me. Prayers followed me. Yet, my heart felt strangely heavy. I couldn't tell if it was fear or a warning I didn't yet understand. He stood at the altar, calm and confident. Older, respected. They said love would grow with time. I believed them. I had no idea time was about to stop completely. Then, the doors opened. Not loudly, not suddenly, just enough to change everything. A woman walked in barefoot, humming softly, carrying a past no one was ready to face. She was my mother. When their eyes met, something broke. Fear replaced confidence. Strength gave way to weakness. And before anyone could speak, my groom collapsed. Screams filled the church, but I stood frozen, watching my future fall to the ground. The music stopped. The guests disappeared. Only silence remained. My white dress was no longer a symbol of joy, but of questions with no answers. What did he see that everyone else didn't? She held my hand gently, smiling like a child who meant no harm. My mother had always been peaceful, broken, but gentle. And in that quiet moment, I realized something terrifying. Some weddings don't fail because of love. They fail because the past finally shows up. They didn't rush him out immediately. For a moment, his body stayed on the floor, heavy, unmoving, like time itself was waiting. People shouted words they didn't understand. Doctor, water, call someone. But I wasn't listening, because his eyes were fixed on one person, my mother. And just before they lifted him, his lips moved. Not a scream, not a prayer, a whisper. It can't be you. Outside the church, the noise followed us. Phones came out. Stories began to change. Everyone wanted an explanation that wouldn't stain a name. My mother sat on the church steps, barefoot, humming the same tune she used to sing before our house became quiet forever. I followed her. Behind the church, away from the guests, away from the flowers meant for joy, I finally asked the question burning my chest. Why did he look at you like that? She took a long breath, then said softly, because he has looked at me before, when he was afraid. She told me everything. How he loved her in secret, promised marriage in whispers, denied her in daylight. How when she became pregnant, he didn't run, he erased. Doctors were paid, stories were twisted. Her pain was called madness, so his reputation could survive. And when you were born, she said, he made sure the world never knew who your father was. My heart stopped. Standing at that altar, he didn't see a bride. He saw his past walking toward him in white. He saw his daughter. I didn't come to stop the wedding, my mother whispered. I just wanted to see if he would recognize you. He did. And his body gave up the moment the lie he buried stood in front of him and waited for vows. They said he survived. His body did. His name did. But the man who stood at that altar never came back. The wedding was cancelled quietly. No announcement, no explanations. By evening, the chairs were gone, the flowers were cleared, and the church returned to what it had always been, a place where truth waits patiently. I went home with my mother. For the first time in years, she slept without humming. In the days that followed, people asked questions they pretended not to want answers to. Why did the wedding end? Why did the bride disappear? Why did the groom fall? No one asked me how I felt. And maybe that was mercy. Weeks later, a letter arrived. No apology, no excuse, just silence folded into paper. He never denied it, never explained it. Some men confess by saying nothing at all. I burned the dress, not in anger, not in shame, but because it no longer belonged to who I was becoming. My mother watched quietly. She didn't cry. She had already done that part of life for both of us. Today, I walk freely, not as a bride, not as a victim, but as a woman who survived the truth. Some weddings end at the altar, others end generations of silence. And sometimes, the past doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to set you free. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe, like, and share. Drop a comment in the comment section.